Well, if I could go back a few years and do something different, I would find a way to capture beautiful conversations I had with my grandmother. And Why Wait Stories is a team of dedicated journalists and photographers who can capture the amazing stories, laughter, and thoughts of someone you love. Well, Lauren Ferreira, founder, joins us this morning to say, don't wait until it's too late. What you are doing, I think, is super important. Let's talk about Why Wait Stories, what it is, and what made you want to do this.
So it's a family documentary production company, and I started it kind of by accident 6 years ago. My dad passed away exactly 6 years ago, and while he was sick, we knew he was sick for a couple of months, and I thought about, gosh, it'd be so cool for my kids and my grandkids and great grandkids to hear his awesome stories. He was from Ireland, just this self-made man and a great storyteller. And I wish I could sit here now and say, now I have this great video that I've shown my kids, but I don't. I waited, and that's my big regret in life. So after he passed, I made it my mission to offer this to other families. So that's how Why Wait Stories began.
You know, just hearing you talk makes me think about my grandmother who passed about a year and a half ago. And it makes me say, why did I not capture those moments when I was just chatting with her? Because I'll never be able to have those again. So you bring up such a good point. Okay, you have been a news anchor. You've been in the journalism world for quite some time. So you know what you're doing when it comes to these. And documentaries are not just for rock stars. You don't have to be somebody famous, but everyone has a story. Why do you believe that?
Oh gosh, I was a news anchor when so many really prominent people passed away. Ted Kennedy, John McCain, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I thought, oh my gosh, their families they can just Google search their name and find a video and hear their parents speak. Everybody should have that, whether they're a small town doctor like my dad or a high school principal like my last client. I think this is really something that everybody could benefit from.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about the process. When you meet someone that wants to have a document or a film done, what is that process like? And what are we looking at as far as time frame here?
So I send people after we make an agreement to create this film, I send them a brainstorming form. I don't do pre-interviews because I really want to catch those organic moments. So I send them a form where they can kind of brainstorm and look back on their life and take stock of what really matters and the stories that they want future generations to have. And then they upload or have a family member upload photos. And then we come to their home. Usually their home. We do have a studio, but most people feel most comfortable in their own living room. So a photojournalist that works in local news comes along with a reporter, and we interview them over about 2 hours. And then we incorporate those stories with photos and videos from their life. And the end product is about 45 minutes to an hour video about their life.
Okay, well, I want to see a piece of a film that you recently shot. Let's take a look.
As far as qualities, I didn't look, at that young, you don't think about the qualities.
No, she had a new car. And I thought she was rich. No, and we were together and a lot, and so I started noticing her. She was a fun person. And so she was, and so we just kind of grew on each other, as far as, and we're together a lot, yeah.
I'm sure it's a complete blast watching it over and seeing that you finally have a piece of them forever. Okay, so how can someone contact you, or what is the best way to get this started?
So we're here based in Colorado, but we create stories all over the country. I contract with videographers and reporters nationwide. So if you live here in Colorado and your grandmother is in Washington, D.C., we can still create that film for you. So my website is whywaitstories.com. You can take a look at some sample videos there, and my social media is @whywaitstories as well.
Okay. Hey, Lauren, what have you seen people use some of these films for?
Gosh, I've had several 90th birthday parties that people have used it for. Somebody recently, as a surprise, she interviewed her grandparents and gave it to her entire family as a Christmas present. That was really special as well.
That is quite a present. I mean, this is great for Valentine's Day, for a gifting option. This is absolutely awesome. I love that you're doing this. And of
Oh,
course,
thank you.
I'm going to call you up because there's
Oh,
a few
I hope
people
you
that I know
do.
that need to be around forever.
Oh, good stuff. It's there's nothing like stories straight from the source.
And everyone has something to say, right?
Oh, yes, they do. A lot of very funny stories as well, and I'm so glad to be able to capture those for families.
Of course, Lauren, a pleasure to see you. Why wait stories.com, and do it before it's too late, everyone. Capture your unique story and have it as a treasure forever. Learn more at whywaitstories.com and be sure to follow them on social media at whywaitstories.